Flashyy, I'm trying to think of the right words to say.
What do you want to ask him?
Unbearable, why do you hate me? Why do you keep killing me in my own tournament, man? Why?
Man, it's definitely not intentional.
Why do you got to do this to me? All right, I build this temple. I get money into people's pockets, and you.
They send them the losers bracket every time.
Hey man, it's just Tremor. It's not me.
Where is this Kung Lao at when I'm on the screen? That's all I'm saying.
You're a little too strong for Lao. I don't know if he can handle you.
I take that as a compliment, man. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good one.
That was a damn good season. And can I say that this last season of MKX has like revitalized even my competitive spirit? Like
100%.
It's been wonderful getting back into the trenches that is Mortal Kombat warfare.
That's why when I hear people say the MKX is dead, I never understand that.
Oh, dude, absolutely. It's and I felt that about every game that's ever come out. And I'm becoming more crazy as I get, but like our community is really insane in that regard, and that the narrative never changes. That every time a new game comes out, it's the same bitching and complaining.
Yeah.
About the previous game, and then when the next game comes out, it's the same bitching and complaining about the previous game, and then the cycle just never seems to end. And I mean, look what's happening right now. Street Fighter 6 is announced. Everyone's like, oh, blah 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 blah, and then everyone's like, oh, well, Mortal Kombat's not doing anything. Man, since Street Fighter 5's come out, we've gotten 3 games, 100 characters, fucking multi-$100,000 world tours, and then people are like, oh man, us Mortal Kombat guys don't got nothing. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's ungrateful. Really.
Amen.
Just calling everybody out just to start this, man.
If we're gonna get started, let's get started right here. And welcome everyone. This is episode 27.
27. Yep.
Of the KoloCast. Let's welcome our guest today. I'm not gonna do some fancy intro. Our guest today is a legend of Mortal Kombat X. Got third this season in MKX for the Coliseum, won multiple weeks, has been doing it for a long time. Our guest, welcome, UnbearableSkill. What's going on,
Happy
man?
to be here, man. Appreciate y'all.
Dude, one thing I gotta ask, man. There's just one thing. How do you feel about people discrediting how nasty you are at MKX just because of a character you play? Just to start out real quick.
Honestly, I feel like 90% of the people that say that, they got to be a casual to have that mindset.
Dude, everybody's getting called out right now. It's been 2 minutes into the episode.
Speaking my
everybody's
language.
Getting called
and you
out.
know what, Unbearable? Bump it up a little bit. Put 9 more. Put 9 more.
That's just how I truly feel about it.
So it doesn't bother you whatsoever?
No. I don't really care what people got to say, when it comes to shit like that.
That's respectable. And another thing I gotta ask, how have you been playing MKX daily? Before we get there, this dude's grind is the most insane thing I've ever seen. I haven't seen a day. I have not seen a day go by without UnbearableSkill being live on Mortal Kombat X 7 days a week, any hour of the day. Bro, how do you do it?
Well, honestly, like I said earlier, hosting events, just having people come and play on my stream, it's a lot easier that way for me because I'm not really having to use any brain power. I'm literally just watching people play. And
are you trying to say something about us commentators there?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just making it a talking point.
Yeah, no, that's just how I'm able to do such long streams every day. Because if I were just playing constantly, it would be like very, very fatiguing, like mentally.
Absolutely, man, and it really is, especially when it's the same game over and over again, which you've been able to do. It's definitely got to be draining, and you got to be coming up with new stuff and ways for you not to exert that energy. It's the same on the mic, it's the same with streaming. It's a conservation of energy in these marathon ones that go beyond, especially around 4 or 5 hours. I know I'm dead after 4 or 5 hours of
especially
any form of live.
Plus you're constantly interacting with people in the chat and stuff.
Absolutely, and so. Unbearable, I'd love to get to know you a little bit more because I do not know your origin story in all of this, guys. Mortal Kombat X, the FGC in general. When what is your origin story? When did you get started? How did you get started in all of this?
Okay, well, we're talking about just playing MKX, like getting into fight games or competing.
Getting into fighting games and then competing. How about that?
Okay, well, MKX is my first fighting game, and I got into it literally. I was watching a YouTube video of a Reagan combo. I think his channel name was Thunder Dome or Thunder Roam, something like that.
Thunder
One.
Yeah,
Thunder One.
That
One, I
son of a
believe that
I
bitch.
was
know
it.
that dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he did like just the craziest rating combo I've ever seen at the time. It was like 60% combo. I was like, you know what? That looks dope as fuck. I'm gonna try to do it. So I took it to practice. It took me, I would probably say, an hour or two to hit the combo. But once I finally hit it, that sense of, I guess, satisfaction or accomplishment that I got from that, it really made me want to dive deeper into like the mechanics and just the combo system, how everything works. And um, I guess that really led to me learning frame data and then going online, actually trying to apply it in game and in matches and stuff. But that's initially how I got into, I guess, trying to take it more serious
Mhm.
and competing. But I didn't start doing tournaments. I did my first online tournament, I believe, in 2017. I can't remember what it was, but that's just as far as I can remember. And then ever since then, just playing those top, big names and running into those. And then once I started finally performing as well as I was back then, that's really what gave me confidence to want to travel and go offline. Take my skills,
Do you
to the bigger
remember?
stage.
Do you remember at some point during that phase where you started to like look at tournaments and you started to look at
Oh yeah, yeah.
competitors or anything like that? Or do you remember your actual introduction to the competitive side of Mortal Kombat, not just the casual side?
Well, I believe I started watching tournament footage in like early 2016 because I didn't really play the game too much in 2015 when it initially released, but that's when I started watching tournament footage. And shout out to Foxy because he's like probably the one that I watched the most as a loud player.
Nice.
Sure you could understand why I would choose him. And I learned a lot from him. Like out of anybody in the FGC, I definitely learned the most from Foxy.
Wow.
But I also watched like DJT, Slayer, um, PL even.
Absolutely. I mean, we just had Michelangelo on the KoloCast last week, and talked about the Yomi days. Man, if you talked about competitive Mortal Kombat X, especially during after 2015, it was okay Yomi because they were the NWO of the Mortal Kombat community.
Oh damn.
Like that's what they were. They just showed up 20 people deep, wrecked everyone, and then walked away with the championship. Like it's like what the fuck? And then Sonic Fox shows up as Sting with the baseball bat, just and then starts fucking him up. But that's what 2015
Sonic.
MKX was like, man.
That's fire, man. Sonic
Those
is
days.
ridiculous.
So, Unbearable, do you remember some of your initial thoughts going to some of your first ever in-person tournaments? You said you started playing online. What were some of your thoughts and feelings when you actually pulled up to tournaments and there was people everywhere, setups, brackets, and all that going on?
I'm not gonna lie. When I first was planning on my first offline event was Cat T. I went with Cam. Y'all know Cam.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first initially was planning on going, in my head, I was thinking that I was gonna be really nervous when I was like getting on stage and playing in front of everybody. But once I got there, I was not nervous whatsoever. I don't know why, but all the nerves were not there. And it was crazy.
I wish I had that experience at my first event.
Oh man, Aquaman! One day you'll get those tournament nerves out. Do you remember how you placed on some of those initial tournaments? Did you place well, or did you place out of your, where you thought you would place?
Yes, I did way better than I thought. I came in 5th at KIT.
Nice. First offline, you got 5th.
First offline.
Oh my god,
that's not bad.
Yeah, I lost to Sonic, and I lost to Slayer. Now, the way I lost to Sonic was very, very heartbreaking. It was 2-1, and I had the punish. I had the game-winning combo. He had no breaker. He only had 1 bar meter. I got my punish, but my hat didn't come out. I was playing Come Out at the time. My hat didn't come out. Yep. And then we went for a scramble, and I ended up getting hit by EX Nut Punch, and I died. And that was it just haunted me.
Which is invincible, by the way.
Yes,
it
yes,
doesn't
it is.
exist in the fighting game realm while it's active. You just
Yeah. Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. But yeah, I lost to Slayer 3-2, I believe. Went down to the last round.
Hey, listen, man, that happens. It happens. Where's my rum?
Aquaman knows that all too well. So what were some of the in the tournaments leading up after that? What were some of the placings? Did you ever take a tournament? Did you ever get grand finals?
No.
What were any of those like?
Yes, came in grand finals at KIT. It was actually KIT against Ninja
Nice.
Killer. I came in second. What else? I competed for MK11 in Combo Breaker. I didn't do too good. I came in like 65th, I think.
Mhm.
And then the next KIT I went to, I competed for 11, and I came in 17th, I want to say.
Wait, so you did compete in MK11?
Yes, I did.
I thought you just completely wrote that game off from the start.
No.
What was that transition then where you were like, you know what, I'm done playing MK11, I want to go back to MKX?
And did you ever try Injustice 2?
Not competitively. No, I only played it casually. I should have. I was like, I definitely regret not competing for it. Yeah.
That's something not a lot of people admit after the fact. That's for sure.
Yeah, cause like no disrespect, but after playing MK11, I learned to appreciate Injustice 2 a lot more.
And I've done the same going back to some of the older titles as well, and not only appreciating, but taking and appreciating what MK11 has, and applying it to others as well, because it's, if there's something that we can get across to people on Unbearable, I think it's, every game has its issues.
Yeah.
So just pick the one that you like and shut up.
For sure.
Aquaman just wants to come at everybody today.
I know.
He's got a chip on his shoulder today, man. I don't know where this is from. You know why? Because he saw the Crystalline Tremor picture and he just keeps getting flashbacks.
PTSD every time I look over here. I just get PTSD of forward 1-2 coming at me and me going, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad. All right, so wait, sorry. Yeah. MK11. You decided to play it for a little bit, and then what was kind of your thought process, being like, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm gonna go back to MKX.
Honestly, I can't really remember what made me stop playing it. I think I just I think it was starting like to not necessarily die, but it wasn't as in the new, I guess you could say, as when, a while back when it was. But I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that because I can't remember.
Well, you take a really, really unique approach to your content, in being that you're gonna play the game you want to play. Doesn't matter how old it is. Doesn't matter how quote unquote dead or alive it is. You've been sticking with MKX for 6 years now, and I think that's something that a lot of people need to pay attention to, because it doesn't matter what's the newest, shiniest game. It's what you have fun in, what you enjoy playing, what your friends are playing, and things like that. And a lot of respect to you, man, to sit to just be like, I'm going to play what I want to play. That's not a lot of people do that these days.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. And yeah, I just play what I enjoy. I really tried to get into MK11. I tried to enjoy it, but I don't know. It's not fun to me. I don't know.
And mad respect. And again, the fact that you took that, acknowledged it, and were still able to go back and play the game that you love. I still love that. First off, a couple of things. This guy has been grinding so hard that he's even trying to trick the system on Twitch. I don't know if anyone knows this. This dude will be live MKX, top of the MK11 directory, just chilling, and no one.
It's so funny.
I started noticing that a while back, and I was like, wait a minute, no one said anything. And this man, I mean, it's awesome though, because you're able to reach more people, and especially lately, people have been really, really enjoying MKX. I know here on the Coliseum, a lot of the comments that I get are more MKX. People still can't get enough of it, and it could probably go hand in hand with me asking next, what is it about that game that keeps bringing you back? And I feel like viewers resonate with the same answer that I feel like you might give.
What keeps bringing me back to MKX? Honestly, man, the creativity the combo system, the level of depth each character has to offer, and it just feels like everybody that you run into on that game, it just feels like a whole new experience, you know, because everything uh is different. I don't know.
You're saying like every single match you jump into is different from the last.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because there's a lot of different ways to play your characters. You know, rather than MK11, it feels like every character besides top five pretty much has the same game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you there's a lot of repetition in MK11 because the juggle system's a lot lower and the
Mhm.
mechanics, and the combos are very very short.
Mhm.
But hell, just looking at that thing in particular, like just the juggle system and just the juggle properties on some of the hits when they interact with someone, whether airborne in MKX, it creates for such, you know, it's gonna be the same word, but there's such a that's where a lot of the creativity comes from is the fact that there's more room to make stuff up on the fly or to improvise, with
Oh yeah.
having more tools, more launchers. And I still find to this day that when I play MKX, hell, the other day I come up with a combo on the fly because something hit that I just have never seen hit before in a weird spot that's never hit before, but I converted
Oh
off
yeah.
it, and it's like, whoa, it's 7 years later, I can still run into something like that.
Mhm.
In
Still
MK11,
finding.
if you see a new combo in MK11, I mean,
Yeah.
have we seen a new combo in MK11
Yeah.
In a long time.
in a year? No, it's down to stand for special. Oh,
Yeah.
you know.
It's pretty bare bones. Pretty bare
hmm
bones.
But now I want to talk about, we talked about like your content and choosing, to have fun and stuff like that. I went on your YouTube channel. You started uploading MKX 6 years ago, pretty much
Mhm.
when the game came out, when you started playing it more. What made
Mhm.
you want to dive into content creating as opposed to just playing at tournaments and stuff like that?
Um, it's hard to say. I guess looking at it as like a long term thing. Like I feel like eventually, if I keep at it, I won't have to have like a actual job. You know, I could just live off of YouTube and Twitch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what were some of those early days of uploading? I'm looking at it, it's like it was a bunch of combos and things like that. When did you start doing like exhibitions and putting events together for other people to play and stuff like that? When did that start?
I actually got inspired by, I would say, Destroyer,
Yep.
Slayer for sure. Just seeing how well they were doing,
Mhm.
with their Twitch by hosting events and stuff. That's what inspired me to do it. And I would say I started doing that about a year and a half ago, maybe. I have
Oh,
to go
so
back and
it's relatively
Yeah,
recent.
yes. Wow,
yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
yeah.
surprising.
Mhm. And it's just beautiful because I could just take the same Twitch content and upload it to YouTube.
That's right.
There you go.
I'm not
Double
really
dip.
having,
Hey man,
I'm not really
that's how
having
I
to
started
work
too.
too hard.
That's how we started. It's like, hey, I can do one thing, and that's the only thing I got to do, but
Yeah.
still able to do all this other stuff on top of it. That's
You
Mhm.
got to
that's
double
that's just
dip,
a
man.
click away. That's just a click away. Play and then
Oh
upload.
yeah.
That's right. I mean, Destroyer was, I would say, the first and one of the largest to do that stick with MKX when Injustice 2 came out. He was like, "No, I fucking hate Injustice 2." I don't have a great Destroyer voice,
That was
but
close enough.
and those exhibitions, one thing that I love looking back on is seeing him is seeing the success of that say a lot, right?
Yeah.
When Injustice 2 was the hotness, he was doing MKX and it was still getting a metric fuck ton of viewers on YouTube
Hmm.
and on Twitch because people still loved MKX
For sure.
and meanwhile most people were like, MKX is dead, it's a broken piece of shit, and
Hmm.
and all that fun stuff. And so to see that and to hear that he inspired that, because I agree, he even inspired me to go back and do older titles because of that too.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. For
So it's really
sure.
dope.
And one thing that's really cool about doing that, especially like when you're uploading it to YouTube or doing it to Twitch, is you're also giving a platform and an opportunity for these other players who might not have as big of a platform
Mm,
as Destroyer or you or anything like that. You're giving
that's
them an
true.
opportunity to show off their skills and to shine and to get their name out there. And I always thought that it's like that's such like a cohesive, like symbiotic relationship
Yeah.
between the
Hmm.
content creator, between the players, between the viewers and everything like that. So
100%.
anybody that's like doing exhibitions and giving other people a chance to show what they got, I think that's absolutely awesome. And it's a win-win. You were saying you get to just sit back, and it's much easier for you to just sit back and let other people go do a first to 10 and you're just chilling there, talking about it, and then you get to go
Mhm.
play. Like it's a win-win-win on all avenues. And for
Mhm.
you to start doing that and to take that inspiration from Destroyer and Slayer is absolutely awesome, man. I'm super happy to hear that's going well too.
Most definitely, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And now I kind of want to talk about Coliseum a little bit. I know Aquaman wants to talk about it too, but my question is, we kind of, maybe I'm just doing this as like a survey for all of our players, but we kind of changed up the formula a little bit. We did matchmaking, right? We didn't do the
Yeah.
traditional bracket.
Mhm.
What did you think in your experience of those 8 weeks, the idea of like matchmaking and accumulating points and all that stuff? How'd you feel about it?
I loved it. 100%.
Nice.
Absolutely
Let's
loved it.
go. Let's go.
I feel like he definitely needs to keep the same format.
Oh,
Everything
yeah.
ran smoothly. I didn't have to wait in between matches too long. And yeah, it was just fun.
You know, bringing up content creation as a whole and that kind of symbiotic relationship between content creator and player, well, I took that a step further with the Coliseum season 2, and we'll continue that with Coliseum season 3.
Okay. Announcement.
Yeah, but it was a symbiotic relationship, not just between a content creator and a player. I wanted to try to help out other content creators and other and like think about from their point of view competing in this and what would benefit them the most and the issues that they were running into with the current format of a bracket. And the biggest issues are downtime, especially for the player, right? If someone like you were to enter a tournament that was open bracket, regular bracket format, you're waiting an hour between your matches, you only play 3 matches total, probably the entire 5 hours. And so with this one, you get a match, you play it, you finish the match, and you're like, okay, what do I do? You queue for another match, and then you play another match instantly, and it doesn't take long to find a match, and it's built for people like you that stream the game as well, to have no downtime, and for your viewers to be able to enjoy as much as possible as well. So it's just a win-win across the board.
I loved it.
Dude,
That was the goal. That was the goal anyway. So this
that
is
just made me so
feedback.
happy.
Yeah,
And
this is
again,
good feedback.
third place finish in the MKX is absolutely amazing, dude. You were bodying people, man, with that Tremor. That shit was fucking insane, dude.
That reverse, okay, those 2 reverse 3-0s, because didn't you reverse 3-0 to save yourself in winners top 16, and then you reverse 3-0 TC to start off top 8?
I believe so. Yes.
Jesus Christ,
Where does that composure come from? Like, if I'm ever down 2-0 anything, I'm like, that's GG's. I'm done. How do you? I guess this is like for a little like tip for professional players or competitors or anything like that. When you're down 2-0, they got one more round to win, and you're in loser bracket, or you're out. What are you telling yourself to get yourself back into that set?
Well,
or are you just forward 2-1-2?
He flexes up and doesn't have to think about it. He just tries to think less.
Oh jeez, I don't want to discredit it because you and Jude are popping off. I'm just fucking around, but yeah. So what do you got to tell yourself to get back into the set if things aren't going your way and getting those crazy reverse 3-0s?
Well, honestly, I feel like I play better under pressure. I feel like I play better even when I'm down. But I just don't really focus too much on the score, like whatever it is. I feel like if I can beat you once, I can beat you every time. That's my mindset.
Exactly.
That's badass, man. That's awesome.
But I feel like anybody's beatable too. I'm going off to another topic, but I just feel like anybody as a competitor, I feel like they should have the mindset of they can beat anybody.
Amen. Everyone has the same options in a fighting game. That's all.
Oh yeah.
That's all we're saying.
100%. Like even if you're fighting Sonic or somebody, you should feel like you can beat him. If you're competing, you should feel like you can beat anybody. You shouldn't ever doubt yourself or feel like you can't beat somebody just because of their accomplishments.
Dude, I think that speaks volumes to who you are as a player as well, man. That's absolutely insane.
Oh yeah.
And I hope that a lot of competitors out there are taking notes on that because, yeah, if I'm going into, I remember one time in MK11 I had to play against Mighty Unjust, and when they called my name and his name, I was like, I already lost. That's GG's. I'm out. So right away I already lost. Once you lose the mind game, it's already over. So that's absolutely awesome to hear that, man. But taking it back now to, I guess I skipped over this, but I want to take it back. I want to give you an opportunity to shout something out that you got going on. So this is out on the 24th, and you have something going on for MKX on the 26th. If you would like to talk about that and shout that out real quick.
Yes, it's well, the name of it is called the Hidden Heath Village, and it's gonna be an 8-man invitational at 4:30 p.m. Eastern this Saturday, and it's gonna be a PC tournament. So if y'all want to come by and catch some super sweaty sets with some hype commentary, be sure to tune in. Twitch, awesome. Twitch.tv/UnbearableSkill.
And there it is, twitch.tv UnbearableSkill, February 26th, 4:30 Eastern. PC MKX. So do you play on both PlayStation and PC?
I do. Recently, I've been getting into PC. So
have you noticed the difference between the games?
Oh yeah, there's you can react to a lot of stuff like way easier, because there's less latency and less input delay and stuff. So
it's really interesting.
It feels closer. Yeah, it feels closer to offline.
It feels really nice and it looks really nice. PC Mortal Kombats are just so next level. Like, and every time I hop into that game, still Unbearable, I'm like, man, MKX has still held up pretty good. As long as you don't play the story and look at the faces sometimes. I mean, as long as you look away from Sonya, maybe. Story mode. I boot up story mode and I was like, I don't remember it looking that rough, but it's still gorgeous. And I mean, one of the characters to look at too, if you boot up PC MKX guys, look at Crystalline Tremor and just look at the crystals in that crisp 1080. Oh.
Yeah, that character's so sick, man. That character's so sick.
It's looking pretty clean. I got a question for you about Coliseum Unbearable. Or a couple of them, but who is it that you see in these brackets and go, oh, that might be a problem?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, most definitely Tweety.
Oh yeah,
the three-time.
Yes, big Tweed. I've only beaten him one time in tournament. Every other time he's beaten.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yep.
And what's crazy is he's never confident going into a match with you. Do you remember last time y'all played? He was he's like, nah, man, y'all, you got it. I'm washed up. I haven't been playing this game.
And I never understood that.
I've never lost to you before. What are you talking about?
I never understood that. I've literally only beaten him one time.
Oh, he's absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, the guy won every game. What else can I do to stop him from losing? Is I guess my next question.
I don't know.
Quite a tournament.
Host Injustice 1?
Tekken tournament or something.
That's next level. It takes a special player to win all 3 games.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. That is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. And is there anyone else in bracket?
Yeah, I was about to say, any good katana player like Deoxy, Star Charger, Sunio.
We had she just changed her name. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna look it up right now. But we had a really good katana player. Lady Cypher is her name now, and she was tearing up the brackets too and caused a lot of upsets. It was just another great katana out of nowhere this season that was really strong. But yeah, those katanas were lethal in the brackets.
Yeah, they were out to get me for sure.
They were.
Also, shout out to Cam, man. He's always a problem. I feel like he's really underrated as a player.
Y'all's first match of the season was like match of the season.
Did Cam knock you out, Mr. Aquaman? Cam knocked you out,
listen,
right?
Man, listen.
I'm sorry to bring up past pains, but just trying to get the story here.
My question is,
he beat me too.
Why did I get Cam round 1 losers of anything? What?
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Oh man. Anytime we're talking on the show, anything that has to do with Aquaman competing, he's always like, yeah, I lost to this person, I lost to this person, I lost to that person, lost to them. Right before Bearable, right before you came on the show, he was like, yeah, I lost to Unbearable. I always lose to Unbearable.
No, but that was actually offline Unbearable. I don't know if you remember this, but it was
combo breaker.
It was a combo breaker. Yep.
I remember.
and at the time, Unbearable was still super like low key, and
I was playing loud. I never. That's another. Loud. I don't mean to cut you off, but there was a point in time where I would literally only play Kung Lao. That's I didn't even in tournament.
That's what I knew you for at the time too. Was that you were like the Kung Lao guy,
Mhm.
and yeah, he absolutely ran me over. I think it was I think it may have been 3-1. I was really upset because usually I'm really good against really fast paced Laos that like teleport a lot and stuff, but I just got
Mhm.
run over like you wouldn't believe it. I honestly, man, I got Kung Jin after that too. Anyways,
Oh
fucking
shit.
memories. Every time I do bring it up, it's about losing. But man, even back then, that was at a time where like MKX was just on its way out, and like all the big dogs were still pretty damn good at the game.
Mhm.
I think Tekken Master won that event, if I'm not
Uh,
mistaken, with Shinnok. It was really gross.
was it? Or was it Killer Zenok?
Killer Shinnok with
Kill,
yeah.
Killer Zenok, maybe?
I think you're right. That's what it was with Tremor, right?
Yeah. hmm
Yeah. Oh,
It was him and Scar in Grand Final.
that was super gross. But even then, Unbearable coming onto the scene and upset a lot of veterans. I think you ran into KP after our match.
Oh, he beat me. Yep.
Yeah,
He
a
hit me
lot of
with the
veterans.
X-ray. I'll never forget it.
Yep. Oh no.
And that's when I found out her
What's
X-ray was actually invincible.
Katana's X-ray? We need to have a separate podcast about Katana's X-ray. That's just 45 minutes of cursing nonstop. I I will never forget. I think I played Star Charger, and it was on the Coliseum stream. One of the losses where I think I lost 1-5, and one
Mhm.
round I blocked X-ray, and I was one hit from Chip, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's still fucking plus on block, and then I died, and I'm like, wait a minute. I even did the right thing, which was not. Oh, I don't even know what to say, man. Rough times, but so we got the katanas. There was some Melinas running around that bracket, and something to talk about is like Tremor is considered this kind of unstoppable force, but there are a lot of characters in the game that can deal with that character really well, actually, especially at a high level when you know
Oh yeah.
how to deal with those, deal with the armor, get them off of the armor. Sometimes I'll use a
hmm
tool to be able to slow that down, and then you got to play the same game as everyone else, right?
Yep. 100%. And
But
even like e- I would say it's 100% much easier on PC, but even on console, a lot of people don't know that you can actually react to his overhead. I'm not trying to downplay, but you can. It is possible to react. But on PC, you can react 100%. Like if you're playing someone like Cam, Deoxy, or 88, any of those players on PC, you're never gonna hit them with overhead.
See, I like that you're out here giving tech about Tremor because
Mhm.
according to Coliseum YouTube comments, there is no tech. There is no answer. You just lose
Nah,
automatically.
I got a lot of tech against Tremor. Like I
Dude,
actually get happy if I see a Tremor bracket, I get happy.
bro, anytime we upload either like one of your matches or even like the full show, like immediately people just start talking about the Crystalline Tremor.
Oh
It's
man,
ridiculous,
I
man.
don't
It's
understand why
just
people say Tremor's number one though.
comments.
That's one thing I never understood.
Who would you say is number one in MKX?
Ooh.
Oh, Liu Kang. It had to be Liu
Yes,
Kang.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
Understandable. Where would Tremor
Yeah.
be on your list then?
He's right outside of top 5.
Okay.
Ooh.
Have you thought about making an MKX tier list, by the way? That'd probably be a
Send me
pretty
down.
solid
I've
YouTube
thought of
video.
it. I've thought of it, but the only problem for me is I feel like there's a lot of characters that were never fully fleshed out. So it would really be hard to put them in like a a concrete spot for me.
Well, listen, if you
I
want
feel
a
like
whole lot of engagement and comments, put Tremor anywhere outside of that top 5. Tweet out the
Oh,
picture,
man.
and
Yep, there you go.
that shit'll blow up over.
Oh, I know. I know.
That shit'll blow up over.
even-
It's just a YouTube video that just shows up one day. It's called "The Truth About Crystalline Tremor." 1 second in, he sucks.
110,000
Unbearable
views.
skill story.
I've actually got a lot of requests, but people want me to do like a Tremor guide. Just everything about Tremor, like how to fight him, his strengths, his weaknesses, how to play him, his game plan, all that stuff.
This is actually interesting because I was looking at your YouTube again, and I noticed it's a lot of you like re-uploading your exhibitions and your beef sets and your first attempts and stuff. Have you ever thought about doing "quote unquote" YouTube specific videos like that? If you have in the past, then my apologies. But at this point in time, have you ever thought about doing something like that?
I definitely have. I just haven't taken any initiative in trying to do that.
Any plans on doing something like that?
Uh, You never know. You never know.
Nice.
I might.
Well
I
said.
don't. I don't want to
Keep
say
your
I
options
am
open.
and I don't. But
Okay,
I'm
I
open to it.
I respect it. I respect it. So now, kind of staying on topic with that, we went over how you got started. We're talking about what's going on these days with you. I want to move into the future a little bit of Unbearable Skill. You've been playing MKX for 6-7 years. Obviously, you have no problem streaming that game for 47 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
What are some future plans for Unbearable Skill? Is it to just keep riding it out with MKX, hanging out with your boys in Discord, and just having a good time? Do you have any plans on, maybe introducing a new game, getting into a new fighting game to compete in? What are kind of, the next 6 to 18 months looking like for Unbearable Skill?
So my plan really is I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm just waiting on the next NRS game. And once that comes out, because I used to have, I guess, sort of like a prideful mindset to where I would only play characters that I like. But I made a vow to myself: in the next game, I will be playing the best shit.
There we go.
Ooh,
That's
I'm gonna be playing the
terrifying.
best
That's
shit in the game.
terrifying, bro.
Let's go.
I feel bad for anybody that runs into you in bracket and whatever. Wait, even if it's Injustice, you saying you would give it a shot?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everybody better watch out, dude. This man says, "Fuck it all. I'm playing top tier. I don't give a shit anymore."
Yeah, man.
Go for the throats. Let's go.
Got to get with the program.
Well, I hope so, man, and I hope that a game comes. I know everyone's hungry for one, but still glad to see you grinding. What's out there right now? Because I mean, honestly, guys, what else are we gonna do? We're all waiting on the next game. We're waiting on the next game. I would love a next game. I want to see more entrants in these tournaments. I want to see everyone else blowing up. People getting sponsored again, and just overall growth again. But I think right now we're still in a really good spot, and we've all been able to get by an Unbearable. Good to see you able to do so even on an older title, man. So nothing but shouts to you, and
appreciate that, man.
Bro.
Cannot wait to see you compete in some more MKX on the Coliseum. Not giving too much away, but also
technically this will be out after.
Technically this will be out after, so I could talk about it right now if I really wanted to. So in the grand scheme of things, Coliseum Season 3 will be announced when this video is released anyway.
Ooh, I cannot wait, man.
So Unbearable Skill, I can officially give you the scoop ahead of time and say that there is a Season 3 and MKX is back a part of it, 8 weeks long.
Cannot wait, man.
I want to see that. Dude, I want to see that
that
Tremor just go to work against everybody. I want to see
I'll
you just
definitely be
drop
attending that,
everybody.
man.
That's it. I'm picking up Liu Kang. I'm coming.
Oh, jeez. Now you got Aquaman saying he's going to play top tier.
I'm going to pick a top tier. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
He'd be a problem because he really holds himself back with Kodo, honestly.
Hey, man. To piggyback off of something you said, not just like a pride thing, but just to go back on the mentality in tournament, like recently, I don't know what it is. I've been a fucking animal in tournament. I've lost a lot, but I've almost beaten everyone that I've played in bracket in MKX recently. And they're really fucking good. And any single matchup I run into where even though I know it's a really bad matchup, man, I don't know if it's my age or what, but all of that is gone now. When I go into a match, I try to just take my mind off of everything possible and just play the match and play the matchup and getting back to that old school mentality, because I've kind of been out of it competitively for a while. But to get in and in matchups that I know are bad, still get down to the basics of, yeah, it's a bad matchup, but I've still got options to get rid of something. I've still got options to beat something. I still have options no matter what's happening, to armor, to take a turn better, to anti-air better, to reversal better, to mash better, because that's what I do, baby. There's all those little things, and fighting you in particular, Unbearable, the first couple times I wanted to punch a hole in my fucking wall, but the third time around I took a game and I got closer and closer. I got closer and closer to taking a game in those first 2 sets, and then in the third one I took the game, and I'm like, hey, I'm learning, I'm figuring it out, and as long as I get closer and start to find those options, like you can put that puzzle together, and even after all these years, you can't overcome a bad matchup like that, guys. Most of it is mental in these competitions, and I find that, play what you love. That's for sure.
And to kind of like add on to what you're saying, I feel like anybody can reach whatever level they want to be at. They just got to be willing to put the time in, into the game.
Dude,
yeah, and the effort.
Yes, man.
because none of that comes without the work that has to be put in, right? The knowledge of knowing what to do in what situation against a character, right? Because if you don't have that, you're just doomed to repeat the same mistake, which is to get forward 1-2-2'd, fucking canceled on until your health bar is just gone. You know, that's just what it is.
And a lot of people, honestly, I feel like they don't know like the proper way of labbing. You know?
To find the answers for those problems, right? They just get hit and they go, fuck that stupid, fuck that character.
And they leave a comment saying that Unbearable Skill's Tremor is broken.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man. I've heard that countless amounts of time.
I've seen that, dude, every time. I'm telling you, anytime the little bell notification thing on Coliseum YouTube has like a 1 or 2 next to it, I just know if it was a match that I uploaded for you, I just know exactly what that comment's gonna say before I even read it, man. But dude, you're literally a menace in these MKX brackets, and I mean, we're talking about putting in the work, dude. You've been putting in the fucking work with MKX for 6-7 years now, and it's absolutely awesome to see, bro. Seriously,
I try, man. Appreciate it.
Well, Unbearable, looking forward to seeing you compete in season number 3 of the Coliseum. Looking to see your exhibition as well, or invitational, I should say, this Saturday. So guys, go check that out. It'll be in the description below. And Unbearable, I'm going to give you the floor before we get out of here. Talk about everything you've got going on. Give some shout outs to some people. And where can people find you?
Well, like I said, we got an event this Saturday, as you just said. Twitch.tv/UnbearableSkill. UnbearableSkill is my YouTube, Twitter, pretty much everything. Even my Instagram. And shout out, who I want to shout out? Shout out Lamb, Xavier, Nail, Steve, Darklight. It's a whole tribe. I don't want to keep going, but you know, there's a lot of them out there.
Go through the whole list. It's okay. He's just pulled up his Discord and going through.
Yeah, he's like,
man. Big Body Slimy. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Okay, never mind.
Glenn, you know, the Shiva Stomper.
We went from Big Bobby Slidey to Glenn.
Big body Slimy.
Big Bobby.
Yo, that's fucking awesome, man. Dude, Unbearable, you're the man. You're fucking crushing it. We can't wait to see you compete in season 3 and, you know, to the future, man. Keep putting out the content that's fun to you. I think that's the cherry on top of this whole talk here. It's like, that's super important. If you're having fun, then the people watching are having fun, and that's the most important thing. So keep crushing it. I don't know how the hell you're streaming 7 days a week. Hopefully that doesn't deteriorate your mental state over the course of some time, bro. But yeah, you're fucking crushing it, man. And again, we love seeing you at the Coliseum. So keep up the great work, dude. Everybody, please go follow UnbearableSkill. He's smart. He has the same tag on literally every single platform. Follow him on all of them. We're gonna catch you guys next week for another episode of KoloCast. We'll see you there.